show. This is a special episode I got for y'all today. It's a little different. We got our first pro athlete on the pod to join us, man.
Yes, sir.
So I just got to ask y'all one thing first. If y'all want to see more of these, first and foremost, like, comment if you do, and subscribe. Subscribe. Let us know because we growing. Now, I'm going to let my boy Chaz do the introduction because I feel like y'all the closest out of all of us here. So,
I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
Willie
let you
Dog on Willie
go
Dog
with it.
Love, man. Let me go ahead and add side to this stream.
It's William
So,
Dog.
yo, we got the pleasure today of sitting down with the one and only Cy Barnett. We're talking about a D2 national champion, one-time All-American, two-time All-Conference,
Real dog.
receiving yards, receiving catches, record holder at our alma mater, Davenport University.
Don't forget the punt record too. That's
The punt record for longest punt, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. UFL, Arlington Renegades rookie, Cy Barnett. Welcome to the pod, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the pod, Saquon. Saquon Tavius has made his appearance. You know what I mean? We're going to do something a little bit special for you guys this evening, you know. But I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Want to go over this.
Yeah, we had to bring Saquandre on the pod first for our first interview. I mean, it's a Willie Dog like me. He's a DU Panther like us. So it just made sense for you to be our first interview, Si. So we're going to ask you a couple questions here. We're going to keep it rolling, keep it light, and really introduce you to the people out here. So let's start with college. You had a very interesting journey. You started out at Ferris State University, playing receiver and punter. Talk us through your decision on choosing to go to Ferris straight out of high school.
So it actually had a lot to do with kind of staying closer to home. I had some opportunities to go out of state. I'm a homebody, always liked being closer to home. Had a few walk-on opportunities out of high school at some D1s, and then obviously I had a lot of offers for track and field. Could have really chose anywhere I wanted for track and field, but kind of decided I had more upside in the football side of things. Also a little bit of a basketball player, as you know. Didn't really get a ton of looks for basketball. I missed my junior year of basketball season. I played only a few games, and obviously I transferred. We moved to Williamston, and that's where I finished out my career. But a big part of it was we'll kind of see where it comes to it later on. But a big part of the reason why I went to Ferris was because of Sparky McEwen. So he was the receivers coach at Ferris at the time. He was the guy that was coming in every day, recruiting me, trying to get me to go there, show up to some of my basketball games. He was very straightforward with his recruiting, which I liked. He told me that I was not good at XYZ, and he's like, if you come here, I'm going to make sure that you're going to be good at XYZ. So at that time, I really like criticism. It helps me obviously become better. Not a lot of people do like that, but I'm one person that loves it. I love hearing when there's things that I don't do well in, because it makes me want to feel like I'm going to do better at it. So that was one big reason why I went to Ferris. And then also another big reason was my boy Cooper Clapp, who's from Langston area. Coop was already committed there, so he was texting. I grew up playing basketball with Coop, and he was like, "Dude, you got to come here." We'd be roommates, and then we obviously became roommates once we went to Ferris. But those were like the two things. I didn't know too much about just the D2 life. I didn't know really too much about Ferris's success, really. I was a big Michigan State fan, so I was kind of hung up in the whole like Big Ten, D1. So it was more or less just once I got there, realizing, what Ferris had at the time.
Weren't we all, man? Weren't we all Big Ten fans growing up, bro?
Yeah.
I remember the recruiting process, and really, that was the first time I really started learning about the GLIAC conference and realizing that the GLIAC is the best Division II conference in the country. So an opportunity to play in the GLIAC, you're going to get eyes on you. It's the SEC of the D2, right? You're going to get eyes on you. You're going to get an opportunity to play professionally. But real quick, bro, I just gotta say this because you mentioned your basketball career. Y'all don't know, so I've been banging on dudes since he was in like 10th grade. Am I lying? Like,
I caught the highlight.
My first dunk was in 7th grade, and then my first in-game dunk was
7th grade.
Was freshman year against Hazlitt. Was my first in-game dunk, and then obviously the rest is history. I was usually dunking every single game.
So before we get back to the Ferris talk real quick, let me ask you this, bro. If you got offers like you did for football to play basketball in college, which would you have chosen, football or basketball?
So I did have some offers for basketball. I actually, when I went to Ferris, I was asked to be on the basketball team every single time I passed the basketball coach in the hallway because he knew all about me. So,
and that was Bronkema, right?
Yeah, I just decided, I don't know. It just depends. It depends on how it would have felt. I knew I had more upside in football because I played basketball all the time. Where football, I kind of took it as like a part-time sport.
We just had a reset. Yeah, we just had a reset
out too.
Yeah,
right,
I think
good.
everybody.
I thought it was just me.
It cut out. So
I thought my computer broke out. I'm like, what happened?
They didn't want to hear about signing white b-ball pains, bro.
Man,
they want to hear that
again.
They ain't hear that. I ain't click you out this time. Usually it's me, but
man, kick me out again.
What you got, Mike? What you got? Talk to me.
Well, hearing this boy, obviously, you say he's from Hasley, right? He's from Hasley, right? Ty?
Say that again.
He's from Charlotte.
I'm from Charlotte, which is a little country town in Lansing, south of Lansing, and then we moved to Williamston. My parents still live in Williamston, so I went to Charlotte and Williamston.
Dope. All right, so the question I had, obviously, I'm more of our spring football connoisseur, because in college that was the route I wanted to take rather than going big. It was wanting to play spring ball, and it was the AAF at the time was the hottest spring league, so that's what me and Sparky had talked about going when I was in school. But obviously, everybody know what happened. They closed that down. I was into that. But the question I had for you was obviously, when comparing a NFL rookie camp to a UFL camp, I would say, what are the biggest key takeaways that you can pull from either? Is it the coaching? Is it the players? Is it the type of talent? What is your biggest takeaway from each experience?
Yeah, I mean, when I was down in New Orleans, it was different than what I ever expected. I would say I did perfectly fine. Like as far as competing, I was a little caught off guard by the not the speed, but the amount of information that was provided. So, like when they dropped us the playbook, like day one, they gave it to us at like 9 p.m. at night, and then I had to know. It was all a foreign language to me, because you go from signals to then someone speaking 2 sentences to you for a play. So I wasn't really prepared in that aspect. So that was like kind of a big, but like now, like we have the same type of thing, and I'm completely fine with it because I knew what I was getting myself into. I would say the biggest thing that I've noticed, I mean, the talent, I don't think there's that much of a talent difference. I would say maybe resources. Like at the NFL level, you got anything that you need or want, like you have access to, whether it's massage or like a meal plan that sets up specific for your body type, the tracking that you have, even the facility. I mean, we're at Choctaw Stadium, which is unbelievable. It's the Texans' old stadium, unbelievable. But like the Saints was a whole nother level. Like They had the indoor, they had the outdoor, they had the grass field, they had the turf field, they had their own restaurant, they had their own football facility, they had their own weight room, they had like every single thing that you could possibly think of. Like they had it, and it was just for their team.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I don't know. I would say that's probably the biggest difference. Obviously, everybody that's like on my team is like we have multiple dudes who were in practice squads and active rosters last season. So, like the skill level's no different. Obviously, you don't have your big name superstars. There are some big name dudes who are playing in this
Louis
league.
Perez, man, he's the XFL reigning MVP, man. He's a
Yeah. Like there is some guys who were like known football players. Another dude that just comes to mind, I was talking to Chaz about it, was Vic Beasley. He's one of our guys.
Yeah.
He was an eighth pick in the draft.
Yeah.
In his draft class. Like there's dudes who are legit players. Just you don't have like the Patrick Mahomes and like those type of guys that are walking around. But there are
you got Marquette King on the team.
That is true.
On the team. You got so the former coach. The question I got, obviously, I kind of slipped up, but how is it being coached by legendary coach Bob Stoops?
Bob Stoops.
You know what I mean? Like you hear about it growing up in college ball, just like we all like college ball growing up. You hear Bob Stoops, and then you hear the last name Stoops and hear his brother and things like that too. How is it being coached by him?
So it's funny that you say that because my dad is actually a diehard Sooners fan. So when he found out that when I got drafted to Arlington way back when, first thing that he did before I even knew anything about anything, my dad said, "Hey, you need to get an autograph from Bob Stoops." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "He's your head football coach," and I didn't even know. At the time, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I mean, he's a character. Lives up to all of his hype on his name. So he has a lot. He knows a lot of people, which is also pretty cool. Like our whole staff is filled with coaching legends, and like our OC / receivers coach, Chuck Long. Like he has a huge like on and on list of honors that he has. But that's every single coach on our staff, and I think that really comes down to having Stoops as our head coach. He's able to get the guys that that most coaching staffs can't get, just because he has those connections.
Dope. Appreciate it.
So I guess this is a good time to segue into Melly. I'm gonna let you shoot one in after this real quick. Since we're talking about the pro game right now, when was it that you realized, okay, I actually got a shot to make this jump from college to the professional level, right? Like, I mean, your pro day numbers were crazy. I got it right here. 4.33 in the 40. 4.33, insane. Pro agility, you went 4.09. Vert, 40 inches. Broad jump, 10.11. Like, these are elite numbers, bro. So was that the moment where you realized, wait, my numbers stack up to all these NFL receivers, or was it before that or after that?
It was that punt down against us. That's what happened. He took that punt, and I was like, "Yeah, cuz different.
Cuz going to the league.
Cuz different."
Honestly, so I would even take it back further than me doing my pro day. So my first year of college, I was scout team. So got no field action, was a practice player, basically a practice dummy. I always knew I was like, I've never went against somebody that's been more athletic than me ever in my entire life.
Yep.
So I always knew I had an advantage when it came to pure athleticism. But that freshman year, I went against Javier Thomas. He is one of the best nickels in the NFL right now. He's getting paid unbelievable money, life-changing money. But he's also very good at his job. And I went against him every single day my freshman year when he was playing as a DB and I was a scout team receiver. So they always put me as, like in scout team, I was always the number one for whatever team we were going against. So they always had Tav man coverage on the number one, no matter what team we were playing. He never went his own coverage. So I went against him man to man every single day. And I think at that moment, actually, I didn't even really realize at that moment until the next year when he was playing with.
And you see what Todd was doing in the league, yeah.
Yeah, when he
Clean
was
with us.
making plays in the league, I was like, man, I was going against him every day. I wasn't saying like I was dogging him every day, but
Yeah.
from day one to the end of the year, like that last month, like it was pretty even match. Like I would make some plays on him. He would make some plays, but then seeing what he did, and I've still had 4 years of eligibility. That was when I kind of realized, like I have an opportunity to, play at the next level. I never really doubted that I couldn't. It was just really getting a chance. I know I figured out the hard way. It's really hard to, make that jump coming from a D2 school.
Yeah.
No matter what league it is, even if it's like arena football, like any type of next step after college coming from a D2 program, it's very hard. It's very challenging. You have your obstacles. It's just trying to overcome them, and then you have to just keep on grinding. Like grinding, the grind to just get that day one is so much harder than people even realize.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my answer to your question. Is when I kind of first realized was that freshman year going against Tavi every single day.
I'm glad you answered the way you did. This is gonna lead me into my question. So you said you was obviously athletically gifted. You was him out the gate. So growing up or like modeling your game as a receiver, who did you look towards? Like who would you say like you took pointers from, or like if any at all, because you was just already, you know what I'm saying, you already had the athleticism. Was you just like, I'm just go out here and do my thing, or was it guys you looked at?
So it's kind of funny because when growing up, I wouldn't really say, if I had to answer a question like that, I would be like, oh, Kelvin Johnson. That was like Lions fan, but like I really wasn't a huge football guy. Like I was a big actually I was a really big soccer player, and then I was a really big basketball player. So like basketball, I can answer that question even better growing up. But then obviously when I became more of a football player, I started to look at things a little bit differently, started watching some guys. Someone who I really liked, I wouldn't say I model my game after him just because I'm more athletic than he is. I run different routes than he does. But his journey is something that I kind of look at is Adam Thielen. He came from a D2 school. He actually went to Minnesota Mankato.
Minnesota State. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we played against them actually when I was at Ferris. But I would say I like to model my game after him. He's very good at route running, but I'm a little bit more speedy than he is. I don't know. I just feel like my game is a little bit more unique, like what I can bring to the table. So then I look more at like Taysom Hill, who's at the Saints, like a little bit of everything. Obviously, I can't throw the football like he does, but like special teams aspect, like I bring a kicking aspect to it. I have my speed to be a gunner, but I can also play receiver. I have one passing reception that I've done. That was against Grand Valley State. So I can kind of pass it, but for the most part, like it's not really someone that I look and watch. I more watch what I do and what I can do better than looking at somebody that, hey, let me try to be exactly like that, if that makes sense.
This gonna sound like kind of redundant, or it won't make sense to people, but some people play a position, like you grow up playing quarterback, receiver, but you just a football player is what it is. That's what we'd call it. Like you in the backyard, throw it up, put it up, you punting, kicking, catching the ball, you doing everything. So that's dope, man. You're definitely a unique player. And yeah, bro, I appreciate you for coming again. But I got another question if we're doing that. So I see you mentioned Calvin Johnson, Taysom Hill. This is more of a fun question. Build me like your receiver from the route running, speed, hands, and give me a build for like your perfect receiver mashup.
Perfect receiver. I would say speed. You got to go with Tyreek Hill.
Instantly.
Obviously, that's first that comes to mind when you're talking about speed. build. Everybody wants to go with the big 6'5", 6'6" dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with like Chris Olave, like a 6 foot, 190, runs a 4.2 or whatever the heck Tyreek Hill runs. He probably runs faster than that. He probably runs like a 4.1 something. What else we got? Hands.
I feel like this is one of the ones.
If you don't name a Cowboy at some point, I'm gonna feel offended. Can I get CD for the hands at least?
No, if he don't name Jettas, it's gonna.
I'm gonna go with not a receiver. I'm gonna go with Rob Gronkowski's hands.
Okay.
I feel like not a lot of people would have said that.
I don't think I've ever seen Gronkowski drop a ball. Honestly,
that's why he's a pro, right there.
He used to catch it. He catch it in traffic.
Yeah,
we're fans most of the time when he's catching it. What else do I got? IQ. What are the ones?
Yeah, you could build it up. We building a mutant. We in a lab. We building something in the lab right now. So
go route running next.
Barnett
route running.
Yep.
Who do I like at a route runner? I'm kind of doing more newer guys.
It's yours.
As you should.
You know who was underrated though?
I kind of like Garrett Wilson's route running.
Okay.
Kind of like his route running.
But I feel like that suits your game.
I watched Hard Knocks too, so I watched him a lot in the past.
Yeah.
In the past 6 months or whatever it's been.
Yeah. He's an elite red zone route runner. And it's a different art, right? Like I really appreciate watching Garrett Wilson's red zone work, bro. Like the fact that he can create separation, and even if he can get over the top of somebody in the red zone. I think that's what really makes him special, yo. So that's a good one.
Even I would say a combination of him and Ocho. Ocho's off the line moves are ridiculous.
They in the phone booth. They can get you off in the phone booth.
Yeah.
Them feet.
I don't know. I would say that's probably my build if I were to build someone that could,
Now, if you could give him a name, what would you give him? If you could give him a name,
I give him Cy Barnett. Cy Barnett.
Simple.
Yeah.
I would have called him Saquon. But hey, that's me. That's me, and that's why I'm at you. Crib, and you down in Choctaw right now. That is why.
Yeah. So how that Texas life been treating you, bro? Since you came out, you went out there in February, correct?
So
left Michigan in February to go down to Texas.
February 20th or something like that. A few weeks ago, not too long ago. It's nice, dude. I can live down here for sure. The weather's nice. Our cold days are 55 degrees.
I wish.
Everybody's out. We'll be practicing, and every single person will be in sweatpants and sweatshirts. And then I'm out there in my shorts and no sleeves. I'm dude, this is perfect football weather.
Lovely.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
But, today was 85 and sunny. I already got my sunburn, so I already kind of have a little bit of a base tan going on. But the weather's nice, dude. I could definitely get used to it. I don't know about when it's middle of summer if it's too hot.
Yeah.
But for the most part, so far so good.
Yeah, man. I got two quick bangers of a question. We all gonna be there when you take on the Michigan Panthers in
Ford Field.
May. Of course, we'll be there for a field. We're gonna hold it down. So the question is, how do you feel about playing your first? Well, not first, but playing a professional game at home, because not many people have that opportunity to play in their home state. And then the next question after that was just some more or less like an inquiry. How is the schedule like? What's the day-to-day of the UFL right now?
Yeah.
Obviously, you practicing with a few teams and things like that. How does that go?
Good question.
So I will do the second one first. Our day-to-day is actually not too bad. So we'll go right now it's even camp too. So it's the worst, but it's really not even that bad. We will leave here 6:30 in the morning, and then we'll have breakfast treatment, and then we'll go right into special teams meetings. For special teams meetings, to do offensive meetings. and then we'll go out to the field. We'll have walkthrough, and then practice. After that, we'll shower up, obviously, go get lunch. So lunch is right around noon. Then we go back into special teams meetings. We have a team meeting, and then we finish with offensive meetings, and we're back to our hotel around like 4:30. That's kind of every day. Some practices during practice time will either be full pads or we'll go into spiders, which is it's like a basically wearing foam and shoulder
Soft pad. Yep.
Yeah, shorts, just so it's a little bit lighter, and then or we'll have just a normal walkthrough. Like today, we had a normal walkthrough, but tomorrow, instead of like our practice, we're going to have a joint practice with Houston. So they're going to come to the stadium, then we'll play against them.
My squad.
Be the same setup as what we've been doing. Just we'll be going against them instead for our team reps instead of going against our defense. But the days are pretty easy. They feed us breakfast, lunch, dinner right now, which is also nice. Then I'm just living the hotel life, dude, which kind of stinks. But then to answer your first question, I'm excited to play. One, there's I think 3 dudes who I train with back home. So back in Detroit, there's 3 dudes who are on the Michigan team. So that
where do you train at, real quick? In Detroit.
So I train at Impact Sports Performance.
Shout out Impact.
Yeah,
shout out Impact.
Also my guy. I've been training with him for like 5 years.
Dogs. Yeah, they produce dogs.
But he's my guy when it comes to training, especially with speed and agility training.
Yeah, tag him below.
Yeah.
Tag him.
But I don't know. It'll be nice to have like family and friends that are able to go to the game. I think it's like $30 or $40. I'm not too sure.
$22. I looked at it.
Yeah, it's fairly cheap. So that's kind of cool. They don't have to fly down to Texas just to watch a game. But I'm excited for it. One, for my family and friends to be there, and then obviously it's affordable for people to go, which will be nice.
Because we need that 86 jersey. I need that. I need the frame.
Well, I want to get 2 set on 86. I think I might be changing here pretty soon. I don't know yet. But we'll see.
111?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
there's like 3 jerseys that are kind of like up for grabs, and we'll see.
Hey, tell me this real quick. Have you had a welcome to the UFL moment yet? You know, maybe in camp somebody really checked you off the line. You know, you wasn't expecting it. Maybe you got strapped in one-on-ones. What's your welcome to the UFL moment? If you've had one,
don't have making the enemies just yet, man. The season got to start, bro.
No, yeah. I'm saying like, which one of his teammates really, you know, made him wake up and realize, hey, it's go time?
Honestly, I haven't had that moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been doing pretty good down here, so there hasn't been like a moment where I've gotten smoked or like someone just locks me up in the line.
Yeah.
My speed and agility has translated pretty well. My offline moves have. I've been doing pretty good, to be completely honest.
Love it.
I know you see a lot of stuff like with NFL dudes. Oh yeah, I got matched up with whoever it is, and they like
Monte is perfect.
Yeah, so I haven't had that moment, to be exact.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would say more or less, like, if I were to say anything about it, it would be like first time meeting Marquette King, because I knew who he was.
Yeah,
he was like a whole different vibe day one. Obviously now, like, we're pretty cool, but like day one, he came in with sunglasses on. He had some chains on. And I'm like,
superstar punter, nigga.
This dude,
that's Marquette. That's what you see on.
You ever get a few punts in with Marquette?
Yeah, we actually punt about every single day. So
right.
He'll be on one end, I'll be on the other end of the field, and we'll just punt it back and forth. But yeah, I do punt with him almost every single day.
That's what's up, man. So we Arlington Renegades. I don't know what Mike is talking about with this Houston talk.
Hey,
I have no
idea. Hold up, before my man's was a Renegade, it was Houston, baby. Don't sleep.
No, I have no allegiance to these teams, bro. So now that I got somebody that I know on the team,
I'm gonna do it here on the air. Houston, you lost me. My man's a renegade. If you want him, get him. You can get
I got
me
my
too.
blue. I got my blue on, so
You can get me too. But
it's
as
big.
far as I know now, Saquon, you Arlington, I'm Arlington. We're going to do it. I'm not a Cowboys fan though. You ain't gonna give me their chance.
This ain't navy blue. We baby blue.
He down there in the
blue,
city,
baby.
man. He in Big D for real. Arlington and Dallas the same thing to me, bro. He down there with them boys. I'm gonna send somebody your way. I'm gonna send Deuce Dad your way, bro. Have him check you out. You know, I'll hit Chris Daly, hit him in the DM. Hey, go check outside. But I got a real serious question for you, real quick. Let's lock it back in. I believe it was August or September, bro. You joined the 111 Fantasy League, and you said it was gonna be cake, and none of us knew how to draft.
How do I end this?
And you didn't even make the playoff, bro. You didn't even make the playoff, bro. What happened?
Look at the points. I was leading in the league in most points against. Look at that.
Not playing no defense.
No defense. I had no defense.
It get rough out here, man.
So everybody had they coming out party against you, bro. They had a Hall of Fame performance against you.
That's how everybody feel when you lose. He played right.
He had that welcome to the 111 fantasy club moment, boy.
He had that welcome to the 111 moment for sure.
Hey,
we made sure.
Everybody, you may think it's sweet, but go on join that league. You gonna see what's really going on. We real fantasy footballers.
We drafted his team like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna lose. Like, I might go undefeated.
It's unorthodox.
I had 2 stars gained or 2 in my defense, but we'll see. We'll see how next year goes.
We'll see how next year goes.
But I got a real question though. Aside from that, if you could get any advice, and we probably gonna clip this right here. If you could give any advice to any kids, bro, coming up, freshmen, sophomores at a D2, D3 school, even a guy like a Max school, if you give them any tips or tricks, you know what I mean? Besides, obviously, we know hard work is like that's that. But if you give them any nuggets as to how did you get to where you got to, you know what I mean? How can we use that and pass that on to them?
So that's a great question. Obviously, hard work is a big one, like you said. I think what's helped me out with my journey, which not a lot of people can think about it, or can say this, but to be a good person. So when I was in high school, my senior year, Sparky recruited me. When he knew I was in a tough situation, when I hopped in the portal for the second time, he helped me get to Davenport, make it smooth, but then also knew what he was getting. He was able to then vouch for me to professional coaches and administration guys, player personnel guys, like just the type of person you are. I think that goes a long ways. And then obviously believe in yourself. Like you can't get to the place where I'm at right now, or, you know, become a starter on your high school team or become a starter on your college team without believing in yourself. If you believe in yourself and you put your mind to what you want to accomplish, not only are you going to put the work in, but then you're going to get the results that you know you're going to be able to get. It's not whether you think you're going to get it. You have to know you're going to get it, and then know you want to get it. And then everything else just kind of falls in line. So if you're able to be a good person, meet the people, take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you, because sometimes you only get one opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of that, or you're not prepared for that one opportunity, it could all slip away and be the last time you get that opportunity.
Let's do it. Hey, that's good work. You hear that, kids? It ain't all about the things you do on the field. It's off the field. All right? Be a good human being, bro. If you're not a good human being, you got this thing called karma. And karma is just like taxes. They coming. They coming.
Well, Mike is saying that, and Sai gave a great answer to that question. I think in you talking about your battles with Tav as a freshman, just because you start out on a scout team as a freshman, I know you are. If you end up at a D2 or any of these other schools, if you D1, wherever you at, that don't mean that it's the end for you and you still can't be the guy. You still can do it, man. He gave a lot of game, even if it wasn't pertaining to like that question. If you go back and pick up on his answers and what he said, listen close, man, because you could pick something up, especially if you're in them type of situations. So.
And
That's dope.
even to add on to that, so like I started out, I was playing at D2 school. It was D2 Powerhouse, but I played on D2 scout team my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
My next year, I was first team all conference. My second year, I was first team all conference. So my third season in, and at the end of that year, basically I broke my leg, tore all my ligaments in my ankle. Most people don't know that about me. But I was told that night that I was probably never going to be able to play football again. Mm. So I then had that mindset like that was my last time ever playing competitive sports again.
Yeah.
Then I had reconstructive surgery on my ankle. Basically took, I would say, 8 months for it to feel healed. And then I started having like major issues with my ankle. But this was during COVID, so we didn't play that next year. Like I was like, it would hurt to walk, hurt to get up. Anything I did to that was movement-wise, it was bothering me. I was like, what the heck? So I ended up going to get it looked at. I had my two screws that went through my ligaments and my tibia and fibula had like broken. So they were like rubbing together. So I had to get another surgery on that ankle to get the hardware out. And then obviously going back to the one answer about being the right person and just believing, like I had to, when I was not good, when I could hardly even jog. I mean, this was only a couple of years ago. Like this was this was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I couldn't even jog. So it's like, I believed I knew I was able to do something and I put my mind to it. And 2.5 years later, really a year and a half later, I got a phone call saying, hey, we want you to come play with us in New Orleans. And then obviously now I'm here in the UFL to hopefully get back to that spot in 4 months. But I would say not a lot of people know about the injury. Obviously my people that are close know about my injury, but if you're able to believe in yourself, you could be in a spot where you think that you're in the corner and you got nowhere to go, and you can get on top of it when it comes to it if you really want to.
That's facts. I got one more quick little major question for you. So at Ferris State, y'all went on one of the all-time great runs on y'all way to a natty win, a great game in that national championship. Tell us about that journey, basically from the start of playoffs to winning it down in Texas.
Yeah, so they ended up winning it back-to-back. I was part of the first one where we won it all. Honestly, so I ended up getting banged up week 3 against Saginaw Valley. So I had to sit out a couple games, and then we ended up we ran the football probably better than any team ever in Division II. We had Jared Bernhardt, who was unbelievable when it came to running the football. And our playoff run kind of just spoke volume. Like we didn't even really throw the football that much, and everybody knew what we were doing, and we still just dominated every single team. I know in the playoffs, I don't think we had one close game. I think every game was like 40 something to maybe 10 or 6. I know we beat Grand Valley, which was supposed to be a close game because we played them earlier in the year and we won by 1 touchdown. But we ended up beating them like 50 to like 10 or something like that, I think it was, or 45 or whatever it was to 10. But that was just kind of how everything happened. Like we knew we were going to win, and then the national championship game, like we came out and we already knew going into the game that we were going to score every single time. So it was just a matter of fact, if they were going to score every single time,
Hey, y'all was hot, bro. Like it's funny, but y'all was hot, dog. I remember that. I remember that era. I remember that run. That's why I said it was a like an all-time run, bro. Because I remember y'all was touching everybody that was in front of y'all.
Everybody was getting touched. It was
everybody was getting touched by Ferris.
We weren't even opening up the playbook, like
not at all.
Like the plays that we ran, even during the season,
QB
like,
power
we
all the
weren't
way to
even
90.
Yeah, it was just hand it off to Jared, read option, him pull it and run for 80 yards.
Yeah,
I know first play of the game he pulled it. It was I don't even know if he was supposed to pull it, and he went for 75 for a touchdown. Crossfield.
Yeah. They said he was the Veer King in Florida.
Hey, that line was crazy, bro. Because I was at the Woods. Hey, Chaz, I was at the Woods Lounge, bro. The night of the game, they got the game on TV. Bro didn't throw a pass. He didn't throw a pass until like the second quarter. Like the stat line was insane, but they was up like 28-0.
Yeah,
nuts, bro.
And winning is great, but I'm sure that had to play a part in you hitting the portal, right? Like you finding an opportunity to where, you know, I got to let my skill set shine a little bit more at some point. You know what I mean? Like all for the team's success, but I got to get mine too. So I'm guessing that played a part in the fact that you transferred, right, to Sanford.
Yeah. So it's actually Davenport. I actually was going to just be done. So I was going to be done. I was getting my degree. I had a few jobs that were lined up. And I was like, let me just give it one last shot. I actually did a pro day. And then I got a mini camp invite to the Commanders. So once I got that, I was like, man, I was talking to an agent. Like I didn't sign with an agent, but I was talking with them. They're giving me advice. And they're like, dude, just go back and play one more year. And I was like, man, do I want to do that? Put my life on hold. I have like a job lined up. And I was like, screw it. I knew if I didn't do it, I would regret it.
Yeah.
So then I obviously hopped in the portal. Want to go into a different offense, somewhere where they threw the ball, was in spread, get out of the triple option offense. So that kind of played a part into it. Just play a different position. Want to get a lot of like slot film, so inside receiver. And that was kind of what played a part into me heading the portal. Nothing to do with Ferris, nothing to do with, like, obviously I won everything that I could win at Ferris.
Yeah.
But just to get into it was kind of a me decision. Just playing a different offense, learn a different playbook. And then obviously the rest kind of speaks for itself with what I did. So that was kind of the reason that I went to hit the portal.
Y'all aired it out that next year at DU, man. I was tapped into those games. I'm like, we never threw it that much.
Bro, we was going back to the DU games. Mike, like, yo, is that Cy over there?
Yeah, that's
who number one, bro.
Man. Hold on, bro. No, bro. The first game they played, I think, because y'all played Truman, right?
Truman.
Yeah, Truman.
Yeah, nah, bro. It was insane, bro. I hit the group chat like, hold up, when we get him?
Like, literally 5 days ago.
Like when we get
like, bro had 2 touchdowns. Week 1 was on the team for like 5 days.
He done, bro. He done broke 8 records. Had 2 touchdowns, 80-yard punt, damn near return one. I'm like, who's good? They done build him in the lab. Now I got a real question. Now this is for the real gamers out here. If you can give yourself a rating in a video game, what would that be?
In Madden.
So I'm pretty sure that I was on Madden last year.
Oh, let me get
I'm pretty sure because I had one of my buddies send me a video on Snapchat of me on Madden, like on the Saints. I don't know if he created it. I don't know because I don't really play Madden.
What was the rating, if you remember?
But I want to say it was low. First of all, since I never played it down, they just be giving you ratings.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it was like a 59 or 61, which is crazy because I was like, all right, well, what's my speed? My speed's got to be in the
90, like 94 plus
50 or 60 or something. I'm like, all right, this is some bull crap. So I would say my speed should at least be a 90, 97, 98. I'm up there when it comes to speed.
They randomize you,
baby. 4-3-3.
Random, bro.
They hit you with the randomizer. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
He said he taking that in out. He taking that quick 600.
It's fun. It's funny how you talked about how you showed up to the Truman game, because I don't know if you ever heard about how Tyreek Hill showed up to Alabama State. Nah, they did something similar when they would just like get out there. Because I'm trying to
West
figure
Alabama, I
out
think.
how
West
did
Alabama.
you West Alabama? How did you figure out the plays, or like what was they telling you when you was going out there for that first game?
So I showed up so I showed up like a week. It was like a week and a couple days before the first game. And as soon as I left Sanford and was driving home, Sparky sent me the playbook. So I actually
real spark dog.
Spark dog.
I actually knew I knew almost. I think there was maybe one or two plays that I ran the wrong route or did something that I wasn't supposed to. But for the most part, like I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew every position. So I played outside and inside that game. But I knew what I was doing.
Okay.
And then like if I forgot something, like I was be like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Whoever that receiver was that was lined up next to me. But I would say I knew most of the plays. We didn't have a ton of plays in also.
Okay.
Which was crazy.
Classic.
But I was pretty good with the playbook.
Davenport for you. Yeah, we
that's
start light,
up,
then we
man.
add on more.
Davenport big with starting light and then adding on.
We don't start light
the
and add
season,
more. So
which I mean, we did that
should
at
we
every level
bring
too.
Sparky on to really explain that story as to how he called my man to give him the playbook? We need to get on Spark, man. Sparky,
did you ship a PDF or
did
you send an iCloud link?
Like
how you get my dog the playbook?
Come on,
you know how that stuff be on Huddle too. I mean,
yeah,
at least
it was
our players.
Yeah.
I was in their huddle. Like he was like, "You're in our huddle. Go look at the playbook." And then I was just kind of looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was just concepts, but it was more or less learning the signals. That was the hard part." But they had like, who was it? There was one of the coaches that was just him just doing signals on the. So it'd be a play, like a drawing, and then it'd be him on the next clip doing the signal.
Oh, was that Didi? Or was that Travis? It could have been Travis.
I think they was going by then.
Travis
it was one of the GAs probably.
I don't remember who it was.
You know how it is, 28. You know how we used to do. You know,
good sky high.
How we used to get in. Yeah. You know, we was in that, Chad, so we know how it goes.
Bent.
You know who was in that. But I know my boy got to get to his next meeting. So we don't want to take up too much of his time. But we definitely appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, we appreciate you for sure.
Kick off the UFL report. The UFL report, man. Tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your uncles. The UFL, you need that pub. Come to 111, man. Come to 111.
Yeah, man. Hey, we're gonna definitely have you back at some point during the season. We're gonna have to have a little mid-season check-in with you, see how everything going. But yeah, bro, we appreciate you coming on for sure, man. This it's been a pleasure. You gave out some great advice to a lot of young cats out there who definitely need it, high school, college, and some people who may be in that situation where they could be injured and considering coming back. So we definitely appreciate your time, brother.
That's a fact. Thanks again, Si.
It's gonna be
all right, later, guys.
All right, brother.
See you later, bro.